About 260 schools from across the country, including some right here in Kansas and Missouri, are losing money, paying for mental health resources primarily. The cuts are part of the Trump administration's efforts to control government spending, but they are making a mark. KSHB 41 News reporter Marlon Martinez talked to a father and a school board member about how this will impact his family moving forward. Marlon, good morning.
Hey, good morning. And this grant money has been helping districts hire more counselors and social workers in schools to address the mental health needs. This morning, I want to share with you the voice of a dad on what these cuts mean to his family.
I think it means that the problems that we have get worse.
Jacob Schwarz has 2 kiddos in school, and he sees the challenges they go through every day.
I know that mental health is a huge issue in our schools right now, especially coming out of the pandemic.
But has relied on full-time counselors funded by $1 billion mental health grant that benefited schools across the country, like the Crossroads Charter School.
It was very helpful for them to understand how to process what was going on around them. And then also when they were back in school, amongst their classmates, how to deal with students that have a lot of feelings.
2 years later, the Trump administration has decided to part ways from paying out those grants. Schwarz, who also sits on the school board, says this could put the school in a tough spot.
We have staff that the school hired through these grants. What happens to those staff? You know, what happens to a school that's already struggling with funding? And it's a big concern for sure.
But most importantly, the future of the students who benefited from these resources.
You know, what happens to my friends' kids who are visiting these staff members on a weekly basis or even on a daily basis? Do they get dumped back in classrooms without that help? What does that do to our classrooms? What does that do to the learning atmosphere?
Now, I reached out to the Crossroads Charter School to see what next steps or conversations they're having for the staff that have been hired through these grants. I have not heard back from yet, but we'll make sure to provide you an update once we do.
All right, Marlon, thank you very much.